here we go from Gainesville. This is going to be a touchback, and the Niners are going to go to work from the 25-yard line. Now, Jalen Jones is finally getting a chance to take the field here at the Swamp. He originally committed to Florida in 2019. Talented running quarterback, and a 58-yard touchdown run against Georgia State last week. In fact, he's their leading rusher. We will likely also see Drexler Ivy, but it's the senior getting the start tonight.
Well, they want to slow this football game down. You'll see a lot of 12 personnel. They're coming out with 11 right now, so 3 receivers, 1 tight end. But you'll see more bigger bodies, a lot of option football, RPO, zone read, and see if this athletic quarterback can get on the edge.
Jake Clemens, the tight end, goes in motion, as does the freshman Dwayne Thomas. From the gun, here's Jones right on cue, trying to run, lost the football. Loose on the turf at the 25-yard line, and Charlotte's able to recover. Scooby Williams, who's been playing with his hair on fire as of late, was there to frustrate that play. Rutledge was able to jump on.
Well, on cue, what we thought they would do, zone or option football right from the get-go, from the gun. And this speed of this front 7 to me is just unbelievable. The size for the front 4, and then with the way those linebackers are able to run free because of Cam Jackson and Sapp and those guys gobbling up the offense, allowing that second level to run around and make plays.
Just one forced turnover this year for the Florida defense. Nearly had one there as Clemens, the tight end, gets a little shovel pass. He's going to pick up a couple, so here's a third down situation for Charlotte.
Oh, this is what Florida wants to do. They know when Jalen Jones is at quarterback, it's going to be run, 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 run. So if we can get them in third and long situations, this is not comfortable for this Charlotte offense when Jones is the quarterback. Ivy, as you alluded to, they'll play him at quarterback as well. He is more of the downfield threat throwing the football.
You can see that Charlotte has just been dreadful on third down so far this year. Henry Rutledge, the sophomore running back in the backfield. Jones, this is not his strength, trying to throw. Now tucks it and runs. He'll get to the 30, and that's it. And there's Florida defense under 30-year-old defensive coordinator Austin Armstrong has been so impressive the last couple of weeks.
Oh, it's Derek Wingo, number 15, and Caleb Banks, 88, doing a great job of getting Jones off his spot. And then from there, secondary, locking everyone up on the back end, nowhere to go. And we'll keep talking about the speed of this defense this year, so much more improved than what we saw from this Florida defense a year ago.
Florida wanted to start fast, especially on defense. They've allowed touchdowns on the first drive against Utah and again last week against Tennessee. Good punt here from Grant Gagne, the senior from Hudson, Ohio. And Florida's going to have a long field. Ricky Pearsall able to get to the 15-yard line and then dropped at the 16.
During the kick, holding on the receiving team number 0. That penalty will be enforced half the distance to the goal from the end of the kick. First down.
So Graham Mertz and the Gators will be backed up to start here tonight. Mertz has been in total command. Last week, the Kansas native against Tennessee put up some really good numbers. You could say he's playing the best ball of his career. Montrell Johnson lined up in the slot. And they're going to have a lot of motion tonight pre-snap. Now Johnson back to the left of Graham Mertz, and this is the first play from Florida tonight. It is Johnson. He'll cut it up and has some room. He'll wiggle across the 15-yard line.
I mean, it cracks me up. I'm watching the film of Florida Gators in this offense this week, and every single play was motions and shifts and motions and shifts, and all of a sudden the defense is communicating, and then all of a sudden, bam, comes Johnson right down the middle for the nice run to get things going with the first down. But every single play, they're going to test the knowledge of the defense, the communication of this defense with all the shifts and motions.
Hayden Hansen, the tight end. He goes in motion. Now play action pass. Mertz, all kinds of time. He's going to take a shot. Wide open is Pearsall. And he's got it for a first down and much more across the 40. Ricky Pearsall, their top pass catcher. He's just a first down machine. Give him 27.
Well, it's a great protection up front. It's going to be a post route with a deep cross. And you see big number 67, Leonard, coming over to pick up the defensive end. And then the arm angle showing off. Graham Mertz, a little sidearm flinging it to his number 1 target.
On first down, they go back to Johnson. Nothing there. It'll bring up second down and 10 as Jones makes the tackle. Gators missing a lot tonight, especially in the first half. Offensive lineman Davian George, Micah Mazuka are suspended for the first half, along with tight end Dante Zanders. Center Kingsley Egwakin is dealing with an ankle injury. And wide receivers Trey Wilson and Marcus Burke are out with injuries tonight.
Yeah, I think the offense line, that's the biggest issue right now, especially how well they played last week. To essentially from your center to your right tackle be brand new here in this football game, at least for the first half.
Trey Wilson, very impressive freshman out of Tampa. He's looking forward to seeing him tonight. Looking forward to seeing more of Montrell Johnson the way he has started this football game. He has matured into a very fine SEC running back as he came over with Napier from Louisiana.
I love the use of the pistol offense. It allows them to be a pro-style offense and include the RPOs on top of it. That way they can run all the zone inside and out.
Now Tampa going with some tempo. It's Johnson again, right up the gut for about 5. Johnson had a rushing and a receiving touchdown against the Vols. Very impressive. His second straight game with 2 touchdowns. And we talked about Mertz really being in control of his game, playing at a high level. This guy is too.
Well, it's the whole running back room right now, him and ETN. It takes so much pressure off the quarterback knowing that you can just hand the ball off, get 4 or 5 yards, plus huge chunk plays last week.
Now feed Johnson. Cuts it up on the near side and gets inside the 35-yard line for a first down. The run game the last 2 weeks after that 13-yard rushing performance against Utah, it has really caught fire.
Yeah, and you go back to that Utah. I mean, that's a great Utah team. And you talked to Billy and his staff, and they were really upset with a lack of execution. Some of the penalties, gave up 5 sacks, which go against the rushing yards as well. They didn't play a great game. And very disappointed because they thought they were ready to go. But since then, like you said, man, they've been on fire.
Khalil Jackson motions out. Mertz looks to the right, now finds Jackson to the sideline. And he makes a tumbling catch at the 15-yard line. Redshirt sophomore Khalil Jackson. This kid's got strong hands.
I love this offense. They do so much pre-step. Once again, you're thinking some sort of bubble to the outside. Great, nice, subtle pump from Graham Mertz. Gets a linebacker to bite up, and then boom, finds the whole shot down the field.
Johnson again, he'll jump into the pile and be pulled down at about the 12-yard line. We talked about the rushing game for the Gators the last couple of weeks, and Trevor Etienne, of course, last week was just outstanding against Tennessee. A big part of what the Gators have been doing in the backfield. He had 172 on the ground against the Vols.
And just bouncing off, and I think that was the disappointing thing for Tennessee fans watching it, the missed tackles. And you can blame bad tackling all you want, but that's physical running from this football team for the Gators.
Fake the handoff. Mertz on the naked boot throws to the end zone, and there's going to be a penalty flag. The intended receiver was Caleb Douglas, who was running across the middle of the end zone, and there's a flag, actually 2 flags in the end zone.
Prior to the pass being thrown, holding on the defense, number 12. That penalty will be enforced half the distance to the goal from your previous spot, and it carries an automatic first down.
That's junior corner Dantes Fagan.
Oh, it's a good hold right there. He was beat, hips to the inside, out-breaking route, did all he could to not give up the touchdown. This is what you expect right now, the way they've been running it the past couple weeks. Efficient offenses inside the 10-yard line, just line up, run the football, especially from this pistol formation.
9th play of the drive. Play action. Mertz lobs it. Wide open. Arliss Boardingham, and it's a Gators touchdown. 6-yard hookup. Mertz to Boardingham. And the Gators just knifing through the Charlotte defense on the opening drive.
It's the old tight end sneak route. He's going to act like he's blocking. Everyone's going to clear out to the right. You're hoping all the receivers in the motion with the play action gets linebackers, safeties, and corners going one way. And then the tight end just slips out behind everyone else, wide open. Easy touchdown and a beautiful drive by the Gators to get things going.
Trey Smack is going to handle not only kickoffs, but also place kicking duties tonight, after Adam Mahalik struggled last week. And it's 7-0 Florida.
Just very efficient. This offense got its groove on right now.
Smack again, bangs one through the back of the end zone. And now we'll see if Charlotte can get something going. The offense really
new quarterback
spun its heels in that first series. Trexler Ivy, the passing quarterback, comes in. More traditional pro-style quarterback. He's being chased from behind, underthrows Jack Hystera, his favorite target. And Trexler Ivy, you're going to see a lot of play action with this guy.
Oh, he's the thrower of the two. I'm a little bit shocked that you only gave Jalen one possession essentially to get warmed up, and then you go to, and we knew both quarterbacks were going to play in this game, but you would like to see Jones get a few possessions in to get his feet wet.
Shadrick Bird, reliable veteran running back, is in the game. Transfer from Iowa. And he'll get the carry. And this is what they want to do. They want to run up the middle to try and set up that play action, but there's not a lot of room there as Uman Mielen makes the tackle. So using two quarterbacks, it's never easy.
No, it's hard to get into a rhythm, but you talk to this staff, and they've done a great job preparing these guys the entire season of understanding that both of them will play.
3rd down and 8. Little pressure, batted down at the line of scrimmage. And Charlotte's going to have to send it away with another punt. Derek Wingo, who's already been mentioned a couple of times tonight, got his hand on it.
Well, this DB's just stood right there at the sticks. No one's open. You see the quarterback just pumping and pumping, waiting for a defensive line, knowing that they're not going to get to him. Next best thing, get that hand up and knock it down. And you mentioned this offense for Charlotte's going to want to get downhill. It's just tough because you look at the size difference for Florida. I mean, Cam Jackson, 360. Desmond Watson, when he gets in there, 430. They're physically imposing at that defense line. It's going to be hard to run on them.
Number 1 defense in the SEC, looking every bit like the number 1 D in the conference right now, as Ricky Pearsall has some room on the return. Gets to the outside, hurdled the kicker, and gets into plus territory, but there's a flag.
During the return, illegal block in the back on the return team number 29. That 10-yard penalty will be enforced from the spot of the foul, first down.
That's Jaden Robinson who picked up that penalty, second penalty on special teams for Florida tonight. 10th straight win in this building against Tennessee. 7-0 Gators as they start from the 25. That penalty on the punt return nullified a 47-yard return, but here's Caleb Douglas getting a bunch of yards back for Florida, out close to the 45-yard line.
Yeah, he's someone who did shine versus that Utah game. That touchdown towards the end of the game from number 4 to jump up and over in the end zone was pretty special. They have some length at the receiving position, which I love. Big receivers that can go across the middle like that and make some catches.
Mertz hasn't thrown an incompletion yet. He's 4 for 4. He's going to the air again. That pass is high. Oh, what a one-handed grab by Pearsall. And then he took a pop at the 30-yard line. There's a flag for that. Unbelievable catch.
Oh, number 1 set it up so nice, too. He knew he was going up with one hand the entire time. Little ball was a little high, and one jumps up there and snags it. And then gets sandwiched and still finds a way to bring it in. I mean, looking like Air Jordan right there, wearing the Jordans. That was pretty smooth for number 1.
The result of the play is a catch for a first down. Personal foul targeted on the defense. That play is under further review.
There's safety Isaiah Hazel. He's going to stay in this game. They said there was no targeting after looking at the review. Here's what might be the catch of the year in college football this season.
Woo-wee, that was pretty special from Pearsall right there, and we know how amazing of a pass catcher and route runner he is, so smooth. But able to catch that with one hand, knowing that a safety's coming over the top, and you got another defender draped on your back.
And they could have called Dante Balfour maybe for potential targeting too. I think they were looking at Hazel, however. Trevor Etienne in the ball game now. He's going to line up as a receiver to the field side. Here's Mertz getting pressure. He's going to slide up and run. Graham Mertz on the hook, and he'll slide to the 15-yard line. Now, Graham Mertz, he can run too.
Yeah, and that's what happens when you start showing the ability to push the ball vertically down the field. These linebackers just start turning and running back to the quarterback, And Mertz is like, all right, there's 15 yards without a single white jersey in sight. Let me take off and run and get a first down. And yeah, he's athletic, and he's shown incredible ability on the run throwing this year. I mean, go back to Tennessee last week. The throw he made up and over a defender on the run was beautiful.
Already a red zone touchdown for Florida, looking to make it 2. Here's Etienne. He'll power his way inside the 15 to the 13-yard line. Trevor Etienne, a career-high 172 yards rushing against Tennessee. Best rushing game by a Gator in 9 years. And 109 of those yards, Aaron, came after contact last week.
I mean, that big one early on in the game, I think it was first quarter, where he bounced off a defender and then took it to the house. It's not only the strength, but then the speed once he does get to the second and third level, which make him special.
And he's special, all right. They fake it to him. Mertz will hit Pearsall on the crossing route. He spins out of a couple of potential tackles and gets close to the first down. Ricky Pearsall.
A man of the people right here.
He really is.
You know, giving high fives to the cheerleaders over there on the side after making the nice catch. He's ready to show out tonight.
They're going to be talking about that catch for a long time around here.
Timeout, Florida.
Now Florida wants a timeout.
First charge timeout of the half.
Mertz is 6 for 6, over 100 yards passing and a touchdown. Here's Trevor Etienne. A lot of operating room, and Charlotte's defense makes a nice stop. Demetrius Knight, the Georgia Tech transfer, gets in there to force fourth down, and we'll see what Billy Napier decides to do.
You know he's going to go for it. Right now you want to keep the momentum going for this football team and this offense. And, you know, the problem is right now you do have, they're going to kick it, 3 offensive linemen that are out due to injury or suspension on that right side. So, I don't know, maybe a different discussion if you had your starters in there, if you wanted to go for it or not in this situation.
11 touchdowns in 15 red zone trips up to now, but they're going to walk out the field goal unit. Here's Trey Smack, 1 for 1 on the season. Did a 27-yarder last week after Mahalik ran into trouble, and he bangs this one home from 27. He's well on his way. And Smack continues to smack the football through the end zone. And Charlotte will start at the 25-yard line. Boy, Graham Mertz has really fit in well. A transfer from Wisconsin, loving Gator country.
And the offense is so friendly. You know, there's a lot done in the pre-snap that gives him indications of what the coverage is going to be. Gets guys wide open just like that.
43 is now number
and then having a guy like Ricky Pearsall who can run down the middle of the field and make one-handers always helps the quarterback's confidence.
Do you remember a receiver helping you out in that way?
A guy named A.J. Green wasn't too bad.
Oh, yeah, he did that a time or two. Trexler stays in at quarterback. Trexler-Ivy. And that pass is going to be incomplete. Jack Hestera at the 40-yard line did a great job trying to haul that in, but Jordan Castell, who doesn't play like a true freshman, threw his body around.
Well, he was freshman All-SEC last week after his performance versus Tennessee. 10 tackles, 1 pass breakup, and you talk to the staff, and the size, 6'2", 220, the way he can run and hang with receivers, being a safety is unbelievable for such a young pup in this defense, but there's a reason why he's playing as a true freshman.
A lot of young pups on this side of the ball for Florida. Ivy cocks his arm, fires to the sideline. It's caught. It's going to be a short game. It's going to be a pickup of a couple as Baker hauls that in. So third down again as Gators will try to get off the field. They've got 10 freshmen or redshirt freshmen on the defensive depth chart.
It's a scary thing for how good this defense has been this year. And we were talking to Armstrong about that yesterday. They are so young on that side. And you just think what they're going to continue to build this season as it gets deeper and deeper, and then obviously into years to come.
There's that Harbaugh play action. They'll dump it off to the tight end. Colin Weber, he's got a seam, and he's got a first down as Charlotte is able to keep the drive alive. He gets to the 40-yard line, a gain of 13.
Oh, and that's someone that, you know, Weber's someone that can match up against some linebackers. We talk about the speed of this Florida team, but 18, that tight end, that's why they want to be in 12 personnel. They want to keep Florida in their base defense where they can't bring in a nickel to cover their tight ends. They feel like that's a matchup that they could possibly exploit throughout this game.
First and 10 from the Charlotte 40. Shadrick Bird in the backfield. Ivy again over the middle, and that's complete. Dwayne Thomas, true freshman slot receiver, a guy they're really excited about, picks up a handful before Manny Nunnery, the Houston transfer, brings him down. That's going to be a gain of 6. Second down and 4.
Well, he's their best after catch. You know, we talk about Florida with all the yards after contact that we saw last week versus Tennessee. They feel like Thomas is that type of player where you get the ball in his hands, a little bit smaller, 5'8", but super elusive. He gets you that much needed yak.
And he's going to probably get more time tonight because Jairus Mack is dealing with an ankle injury. He is their starting slot receiver. Ivy behind his man, and that was Thomas. Incomplete. Third down as Shamar James was in coverage.
Oh, you know, we talked about 12 personnel and thinking Florida would match it with base defense, but right now Florida's actually staying in a nickel defense. I think they're showing the respect to some of these tight ends for Charlotte, keeping an extra DB on the field. Bottom of your screen, you're going to see Weber, 18, matched up. They get one-on-one, that's who they want to go to.
Pressure. And Trexler Ivy just backpedaling away from the defensive front, essentially throwing this one away.
I mean, just way too much pressure, and they set it up perfectly. They're actually clearing it out for a screen to Shadrick Bird, and there is no Florida Gator in sight. I don't even know if he would have needed blockers down the field. If you're able to get that ball off to your running back, they did a great job of taking Weber and clearing him across the field on a shallow route for his man coverage. No one picked the back up. Just unfortunate, unable to get to him.
Pearsall going back for another punt return for Florida. He had a 47-yard return into Charlotte territory that was wiped out because of a penalty. And now this one's going to bounce and roll inside the 5-yard line. Again, Florida backed up. They've already got a 95-yard scoring drive tonight. It doesn't seem like there's anything in this offense that he can't handle. In fact, I think you asked Billy Napier this yesterday. Is there anything in the offense that hasn't been installed yet, or anything that Mertz doesn't have a handle on? And he says no, he's got a very high IQ. As Johnson is cut down after a short game.
Well, someone that we were excited to see is this young man right here, Wilson, who is a freshman from Tampa, Florida. Gaither High School, a rival of mine back in the day. And you hear a lot of comparisons to Percy and his ability in the open field. He is a special young man that, you know, they're hoping to get back healthy hopefully next week and continue to utilize him in this offense.
He got the first 6 passes on the opening drive last week before that injury. Mertz chased in the end zone, finds Pearsall at the 20. And he's going to get to the 28-yard line. Dante Balfour pulls him down to the grass. And it's a first down, Florida, with a minute and a half to go in the quarter.
Oh, we continue to see the athleticism of Graham Mertz. We saw him run for a first down. We've seen him now 2 or 3 times on the run. A little pressure in the face, be able to pull it and get the completion down the field. Pearsall.
I think a timeout was called. Yeah, a timeout for Charlotte.
This is her first charge timeout of the half.
So Ryan Osborne, the defensive coordinator for Charlotte, after the timeout, we'll see if he can make some adjustments to stop this Florida offense. They give it to Montrell Johnson, and he's hit by Okira Noma, the defensive end at the line of scrimmage, second down. And Florida's got a man down. And it's Lindell Hudson, the starting right tackle tonight. And we talked about Florida being a little thin, especially on that offensive line for this first half, with Damian George and Micah Mazuka serving first half suspensions.
Yeah, not what you want right now with some replacements in there. Already a little bit light at the offensive line spot.
Jake Slaughter is the starting center tonight because Walken is banged up. And it's kind of in a tight area here where Hudson got rolled up on.
It's always a scary thing for offensive line. They wear those knee braces to hopefully lessen any sort of impact they get to the lower half, but these are big men.
And he seems to be moving pretty well. So Mark Pitts will come out at right tackle as we're under a minute to go in the first quarter. Jackson goes in motion. Little bubble screen. There's a catch and a first down, but a flag down, and so is Graham Mertz. He may have taken a late hit. Maybe a hit to the head.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, high hit on the quarterback, number 11 of the defense. That 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run. Automatic first down.
There was a potential targeting call that was overturned against Charlotte earlier. Now this one is against Handy.
And I know a bunch of Florida fans look down. Great play. They look down and they see 15 on his hands and knees and like, no, please, no, don't be hurt. The way he's been able to play this season, but good to see him bounce back up and hopefully shake it off and continue this drive.
Stone Handy, defensive lineman. .137 yards passing for Graham Mertz so far. This defense gave up 460 through the air last week to Darren Granger and Georgia State. And we're going to have another timeout.
Timeout.
This time Florida.
This is their second charge timeout of the half. This will be a 30-second timeout.
So they've got one remaining here in the half. Well, Lindell Hudson is back in the game at tackle for Florida. So he's able to shake off with whatever happened to him. He's okay now. First down and 10 from the 45 of Charlotte. Play action. Mertz to his right. Flings it out toward the tight end. Hansen can't grab it. And that is the first incompletion tonight for Mertz. And I think that's more on the tight end than it is Graham.
I think there's Hudson back. It's good to see, especially with some of the issues of the offensive line, him back out there. No, listen, I always like to defend the quarterback, but you know, when you're throwing at tight ends and fullbacks, which I don't even know why I use the word fullback anymore because it's nearly extinct. You got to put it on the big guys. Don't make them reach for it.
Just one catch this season for Hansen. Now on second down, Mertz flushed, looking downfield, comes back and throws a strike to Andy Jean, a talented true freshman out of Miami Northwestern, his first career catch, and it's going to be the last play of the first quarter, a gain of 31.
Man, he threw some zip on that too. Once again, showing his athleticism.
First down from the 12-yard line of Charlotte. Mertz drops back, surveys the situation. He's going to lay down, maybe a yard pickup. Second down here for Florida.
And that's a nice thing about all this technology now. So Florida kind of fell behind when it came to some of the facilities, and they had a massive upgrade. I feel like they now have the facilities to compete with anyone in the SEC. But one of them is that walkthrough room where a quarterback can literally get in front of a room, in front of a big screen, put up a defense, and walk through the plays and visually see and go out there and execute play after play without going out there and practice and doing it.
Trayon Webb is going to get his first carry. And he should get quite a bit of work tonight if things go according to plan. True freshman from Jacksonville, a couple of touchdowns against McNeese a couple of weeks ago. And now it's going to be third down and 7. This is the third trip into the red zone for the Gators. They've just got the one touchdown so far. As Montrell Johnson comes in. This is play number 9 on the drive.
Well, they have the size. I mean, they have 3 receivers out there, 2 of them 6'3". They can go up there in high point and win some one-on-ones.
Pearsall in motion. Mertz looked at him. Now flushed. Mertz trying to cut the edge, and he's cut down at the 8-yard line by Nakai Hill-Green, the linebacker who came to Charlotte from Michigan with a great defensive play to keep Mertz out of the end zone.
And that's a great job defensively. Once again, they try to sneak the tight end down the middle. They're going to pump both ways, faking like they're going to throw screens, and was hoping the tight end would be able to slip through the middle of the defense. Linebackers did not get fooled at all, stayed home, and they was able to make a play. And back-to-back third down stops inside the red zone Charlotte has to feel pretty good about that, especially after giving up some long drives.
A lot of transfers on that defense, a lot of FBS transfers. Hill Green coming over from Michigan. Beautiful play. Now a 23-yard attempt for Smack. And that's his second field goal. Biff Poggi's happy with that. And we got the job at Charlotte. He said, well, I'm just going to stick with this look.
I mean, he knew he was coming to the swamp, and you and I are sweating our butts off with a tie right now up here in the booth, so I wish I had a cut up.
Trexler Ivy still in at quarterback. The passing QB having a hard time with this pressure. And he goes down. Bryce Thornton.
Just way too long in the play action. I mean, you gotta, if you feel pressure as a quarterback and you can see it, you can kind of guess, okay, there may be some pressure coming off my edge on the bootleg. You gotta whip that head around in anticipation in case you gotta throw it in the ground. You gotta throw it over your receiver's head, or you gotta throw it hot. And just way too long on the action. And now all of a sudden you're in second and second and 22.
First sack for Florida tonight. Ivy took some bad sacks last week. That's what had Biff Poggi steamed up, at least in part. And now Desmond Watson, the big 435-pounder, coming in. No gain for Bird.
So I've never seen Desmond, big 21, in person before. And I went down the field today and stood next to him. And that would not feel good to get hit by that guy.
No.
I mean, very large individual, very athletic. The coaching staff told us yesterday, Armstrong was like, he never falls down. And that's always a great sign of being an athlete. Like, can you handle playing in the trenches without falling down? And for being 430, he does a great job with his balance.
Austin Armstrong, the defensive coordinator, says he can dunk a basketball. He's a tremendous athlete. Ivy in trouble again, this time able to avoid the sack. Caleb Banks, the Louisville transfer, came in, blew that up, and it's fourth down. Boy, Ivy just no room to breathe.
No. I mean, the last thing you want to do is get in a third and long situation against this defensive line who overpowers and overspeeds your offensive line. And we're seeing those guys hunt up front, doing a great job getting off on the snap count.
Trevor Etienne is going to take a turn on punt return. Standing at the 43-yard line from the end zone. Gagne able to get that low line drive kick away. Etienne with a lot of breathing room. Inside the 40, the 35, and steps out at the 31-yard line. Trevor Etienne, a sophomore from Jennings, Louisiana. 43-yard punt, 23-yard return.
Just find any way to get these two running backs the ball. You know, line drive, low punt, able to catch it on the move, and then just shows you how dangerous he is. We talk about the power and the speeds, and it kind of goes back to what we just talked about with Desmond Watson, just the balance. Great athletes have great balance.
Etienne out of the pistol. He'll pop it to Pearsall. Trying to cut the corner, and he is going to be dumped. At the 30-yard line, there's another penalty flag down. Charlotte has had quite a few penalties tonight. We'll see who this one goes against.
Illegal formation on the offense. Number 74 was not lined up on the line of scrimmage. That's a 5-yard penalty with a replay of first down.
It's been a tough night for Lindell Hudson. He got banged up on the last series and picks up a penalty here.
Well, these are little things that if you want to go to where Florida has a possibility of going, like you look at the East right now, and you know, Missouri started off hot. You know, Kentucky, I think, has been kind of up and down this season. Obviously, you took care of business versus Tennessee. You know, you'll get the matchup versus Georgia, but like the East is pretty wide open. But silly little mistakes like they did versus Utah with double numbers on special teams and like that will hurt you.
On first and 15, Etienne. We get back to the line of scrimmage, and then a few yards more and an 8-yard gain, but another flag down.
Number 77, 10-yard penalty from the previous spot with the replay of first down.
And again, it's against Florida. That's Najee Harris, the true freshman guard. And a man down for Charlotte.
Timeout for an injured player.
Julius Welshoff Another Michigan transfer helped to his feet. So a couple of penalties for Florida. Despite great field position, they're going the wrong way.
I mean, it's just amazing that it's been 6 years since all three are ranked inside the top 25. And it's just, growing up in this state and seeing, how dominant Florida was and how dominant Florida State was, and obviously Miami, early 2000s and what they were able to accomplish. I mean, this is such a fertile recruiting ground, and it just seems like all three programs have kind of been up and down. So good to see that this state is rolling right now when it comes to football.
First down in a car ride for Florida. Etienne makes a man miss, and he'll get to the 41-yard line. Trevor Etienne talked about his running ability, especially last week against Tennessee. He's really good out of the backfield as a receiver, too.
And it's so smooth right there, knowing where the defender was coming. You can kind of see out of his right eye, he saw that linebacker flashing, slowed down just as he was able to catch it, and then whip right around to get positive yards.
So they get a chunk of it back. Second down and 18. Pearsall motions out to the left side. Three receivers that way. Mertz will go across the middle, and it's caught. And inside the 30-yard line down to the 26. That's Jaquavian Frazier's, his first catch of the year. A gain of 13.
They're getting a lot of young players, but great job by that offensive line up front, giving their quarterback plenty of time to sit in there, feel comfortable, and then execute throwing the ball down the field to get them back to third and manageable after all those penalties.
Yeah, without Trey Wilson, we've seen Frazier's, we've seen Andy Jean. Etienne coming back.
That's the indicator right there. Man zone. They feel like it's going to be man coverage. Quarterback going to pick his best matchup.
Mertz feeling some pressure, and down he goes from behind. Sacked for the first time tonight, Demetrius Knight. The Georgia Tech transfer, it's a loss of 8.
Well, man-to-man coverage, and no one was able to get open down the field. You see Graham trying to get through his reads, and just not enough time to be able to extend the plays with his legs. And great job by that back end, locking them up. Third and short situations, third and medium situations, always expect man-to-man coverage. No one able to get open for Florida. And once again, I mean, you've had some good drives from the Gators and unable to be able to punch in for touchdowns these last 3 times, having to settle for, we'll see if they kick a field goal here, end up punting it. Looks like they're going to take the penalty and possibly punt the football.
Yeah, they're going to take that flag.
Timeout, Florida. This is their final charge timeout.
Call a timeout. He's hit 2 tonight from 27 and 23. This one on his way. And he's got plenty of leg. Trey Smack taking over the full-time place kicking duties this week. And Charlotte's offense is going to get it back. It's been a tough night for the 49ers, whether it be Jalen Jones at quarterback or Trexler Ivy. Just nothing going their way. And again, they'll start from the 25. Jalen Jones, he's going to sprint out, looking to run the option. He's going to keep it and dives ahead to the 30-yard line. Jalen Jones has been all over, played a couple of seasons at Jackson State for Deion Sanders, ended up at Bethune-Cookman, and now Charlotte. There's the defensive coordinator, Austin Armstrong. His unit held Tennessee to just 16 points last week, third fewest in the Josh Heupel era. 25
plays given up in the first half, and we all know how fast Tennessee wants to execute their offense. It is just go, 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 go. So only to give up 25 plays lets you know that that defense was getting off the field on third downs.
He is a fresh-faced young man, just 30 years old. Jones keeps it and moves the pile for a first down. Jalen Jones with a much-needed first down for Charlotte. That's a gain of 9.
Well, that's what they want to do, and that's where they feel like they can have some success. If you can get linebacker the speed of Florida and use it against them, get some motion, get some misdirection, then obviously you add a blocker with a quarterback run, and you add another number into the box for your advantage on offense, and you know hopefully can put together a drive.
First down at the 38-yard line. Jalen Jones reuniting with Vic Poggi, played for him at St. Francis Academy in Baltimore. He's going to climb up under center. 2 tight ends shifting to the right. Colin Weber, number 18, is the pass-catching tight end.
Charlotte.
But Jones wants a timeout. And the sleeveless Biff Poggi and the 49ers will talk about it with 6:49 to go. Before
high level right now. And the crazy thing is, you talk to them, he said the alphas on this defense are the freshmen, are the sophomores. They've really taken advantage of
That's got to be encouraging. Nice option pitch. Biggest play of the night for Charlotte is Henry Rutledge, the small but speedy back out of Charlotte. Picks up 20 and a first down into Florida territory.
I mean, the option gain is just so tough. And listen, Florida prepared for it a little bit. Obviously knowing that they're going to be two quarterback situations, but this is the advantage of playing two quarterbacks is a defense can only prepare for so much during the week. You're preparing for a pro-style offense, and then you're preparing for this type of offense, which is, it's like almost triple option-esque. Very difficult.
That's the guy they want on the perimeter, Rutledge. He's the fastest guy on the team. He's going to line up as a receiver here to the top of your screen and now come in motion. They fake the handoff to him. Jones trying to slip a tackle, can't do it. It's going to be a short gain. Shamar James, number 6. There he is, the leading tackler for the Gators here in this young season.
These linebackers, and listen, it's never easy to play linebacker, especially in this conference, but when you look at the size of Caleb Banks, 320, Cam Jackson, 360, Desmond at 435. These guys are really allowed to use their athleticism and just run from sideline to sideline, and they are so much fun to watch. It's a young, aggressive.
Watson's in a category all by himself. Pressure from behind. Jones got rid of it. Man wide open on the sideline. It's Colin Weber. The tight end flies inside the 10-yard line. Wide open man. Jones found him. It's Weber for 34 yards, and here's Charlotte knocking on the door.
This is what happens when you have a running quarterback. There's so much worry about the run. You start bringing some pressure, and then just gets it off just in time. You see all the linebackers coming up, ready for the quarterback to run, and no one's paying attention. Number 18, who we highlighted to start this game, it's kind of their secret weapon at the tight end spot that can stretch the ball vertically down the field.
Only the 9th trip in the red zone for Charlotte this year. Chadrick Bird, the Iowa transfer, comes in. And some motion on the left side.
False start on the offense, number 79. 5-yard penalty, and it remains first down.
Jasper Parks, transfer from Sioux Falls, with the penalty, and that's what Biff Poggi was kind of upset about last week after the game, and part of the reason he went off in that press conference, just mistakes at critical times.
Well, you have to think too, for this football team, how many times are they in front of 90,000+ fans? I mean, this is one of the loudest environments in all of college football. They don't see this or hear this week in and week out. You can do as best as you want with stereos in practice, but until you get in front of it, it's tough.
Little inside flip to Jake Clemens, the tight end. Very little gain. Yeah, they played in front of 35,000 at Maryland. Nothing like this here in the Swamp.
Very few places like the Swamp, and great job of, this is what you want to do. You want to be able to string it out, make him go sideline to sideline. And we talk about the speed of those linebackers. If you get the quarterback hesitating at all, of run or pitch it, Scooby, who hopefully is okay, is going to be able to use his speed to get around offensive linemen to make that tackle.
Now Williams goes off, favoring that right arm. He was so good last week against Tennessee. 2nd down and goal to go. Rolling out, Jones directing traffic, now trying to get to the edge, and he's going to get to the 6-yard line. 3rd down, goal to go. Manny Nunnery, the versatile linebacker, kept him out of that end zone.
Very versatile. And the coaching staff told us, I mean, the position flexibility. So being able to play inside and outside. You see him coming in there when Scooby Williams just went out and kind of was still adjusting his helmet, for goodness sakes, and was still able to track down the athletic Jalen Jones to be able to knock him out. Florida's had some struggles on offense, scoring inside the red zone. We'll see what Charlotte can do inside the 10-yard line here, 3rd down. They need to take a timeout.
Play clock down to 0.
Timeout.
They did get the timeout.
This is their final charge timeout of the half.
So both teams out of timeouts now with 2:34
This will be a 30-second timeout.
to go here in the half. Third down, goal to go. And timeout being called for from the Florida sideline again. No, they can't. That's right. They cannot call back-to-back timeouts.
Now, you can call back-to-back as long as you don't call back-to-back timeouts.
Correct.
Yes.
You're right. Pardon me. Yeah, you could see Austin Armstrong very upset that the official, he was trying to get his attention, and the official was kind of
timeouts. Please reset the play
oblivious
clock
to the fact he was calling for a
25 seconds. It will
timeout.
be third down.
Well, you talk about just some of the mental mistakes. We've seen Florida have some mental mistakes this year, and Armstrong, he loves the youth and the excitement and the future of this team, but you're also going to have some hiccups with that youth as well.
Third and goal. Jones stays on his feet. Touchdown. So Charlotte gets back in this football game. Jalen Jones takes it in from 7 yards out.
Oh, it's man-to-man coverage, all-out blitz, and a tremendous job up front by that offensive line. 76, Kevin Williams, who moved from left tackle to left guard. They kind of did something unique where they moved their guards to tackles and their tackles to guards. I don't know if I've ever seen that done before by a football team, but it worked out right there. And then you give Jalen any kind of sliver of daylight, and he was able to squeak on through for 7 points for this football team.
Kyle Cunanan, true freshman walk-on, hits the extra point. Cunanan kicks it off. It's a short kick, and that's going to go out of bounds. And so Florida, even though they don't have any timeouts, kind of good field position. Two and a half to go. They'll start at the 35-yard line after that penalty. Mertz going to swing it out to Montreal Johnson, looking for blockers. And he thought he had a seam, and that closed quickly as Yabi Okiranoma makes the tackle. Okiranoma made the SEC All-Freshman team at Alabama back in 2018. Still playing college football now at Charlotte. Second and 14, Johnson out of the backfield. He'll get it. A lot of room. Splits the defenders and gets to the 34-yard line. And the clock continues to run. Nobody can stop it. Neither team has timeouts remaining. Third down and 11. Need the 45-yard line. It's been a good half for Mertz. Just one incompletion. 185 yards passing. Boardingham, the tight end.
They're going to play cover two, try to keep everything in front of them. Middle of the field will be wide open. See if they can sneak a tight end, or even Ricky down the middle of the field.
Mertz standing tall. Now getting pressured. Hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. Mertz got hammered by Demon Clowney, the Ole Miss transfer, and both are slow to get up. Demon Clowney, the cousin of Ravens linebacker Jadeveon Clowney, throws a punishing hit on Mertz right as he got rid of it, and both came up slow.
Just swallowed him right up. Once again, cover two is not the defense you want to be able to throw the ball vertically down the field. No one open as Graham trying to get through it, and all of a sudden he turns around and Clowney's right in his face, knocking him down, and Mertz is good. It looks like Clowney's getting up. Looks like a hit to area that we don't want to be hit in. Can you stand in there during tough times and take some shots?
So punting for the first time is Florida. Jeremy Crawshaw, the Gators punter for the last 3 years. His mom, Allie, flying all the way from Sydney, Australia to watch him kick tonight. Rutledge calls for the fair catch. So we've got a long way to go. First down, Jones sprinting out, cuts it up, tries to get to the edge, and he's going to be pulled down at the 22-yard line by Shamar James, a gain of 3. 50 seconds to go.
Oh, you also want to be careful as an offense, too. You don't have your throwing quarterback in there in Ivy. Last thing you want to do is compromise Jalen in any way and try to have him force the ball down the field and let Florida steal some points before halftime.
Jack Hystera, the leading receiver for Charlotte, has not made a catch tonight. He's number 19 at the bottom of the screen. Jones on the option will keep it. Gets to the outside and has room. And he's going to waltz out at midfield. Miguel Mitchell escorted him to the sideline, and now that changes the way that Charlotte thinks about the next play.
That was pretty sexy right there. One-on-one with the freshman Castell, and just makes him miss in the open field, and then the acceleration afterwards was, woo, he looked pretty smooth. You see why he was a Florida Gator once before.
Well, they stay with Jones. Now you can think about maybe getting into a field goal situation for Conana. Jones looking and down. That's the worst thing that could have happened for the 49ers. Shamar James with the second sack of the night for the Gators.
Yeah, that ends it right there. Right down the middle of that offense.
That is the end of the first half.
You're seeing both linebackers come, and then running back tries to go low, just does not get enough.
But after that big game last week, maybe they're letting him take a rest, perhaps. He had 172 a week ago against the Volunteers. This is ETN from the 5-yard line. Cuts it back to the middle. It's a good return for Trevor. And remember, Florida is going to get some guys back here for the second half. Damian George, Micah Mazuka, Dante Zanders all had first half suspensions going back to that scuffle at the end of the Tennessee game. Mertz on his feet. Will track it out at the 31-yard line, a pickup of 3. Now, I guess that could go into it too. Not everything going according to plan in the first half at times for the Florida offense, but they were missing a lot of people.
Yeah, they're missing. I mean, they're missing from the center onto the right tackle. So a lot going on from that side. I mean, one of the third downs and 3rd and 1 inside the 5-yard line, they weren't able to get it. I guarantee you, if they had their 3 starters in there, they probably would have been able to run the ball and get it.
Stretch play, Montrell Johnson. That's going to be a first down run for Montrell. 10-yard pickup and a first down. He's fun to watch.
I just love we'll continue to reiterate what they're able to do from the pistol, that little spin cycle run there from Johnson, but it allows them to run a pro-style offense without giving anything away.
Pressure from behind. Mertz lost the football, and it's recovered by Charlotte. I think Charlotte got on it. Yes, they did. First turnover for the Gators tonight. Demon Clowney recovers it. Okira Noma knocked it away from Graham Mertz.
Just one-on-one on the outside. Your left tackle got to be a little bit better. Then Oki does a great job just getting around, and it looks like he's able to punch that football out from Graham Mertz.
Okira Noma came from Michigan, product of St. Francis. He played for Biff Poggi in high school. He's been to Alabama, had a stop at UT Martin, now at Charlotte, and he forces a big turnover as the 49ers have it with great field position for their first drive of the second half. Down just 9 points. 3 receivers to the boundary. In the flat, nowhere to go for Shadrick Byrd. He's going to be eaten up and thrown back at the 42-yard line by Jordan Castell.
And they were set up a double pass. You wonder why the ball was thrown so far behind the line of scrimmage. This was on purpose. It was supposed to be a catch, and they actually had a receiver open down the field on a deep corner route if he was able to have time, but the young freshman safety got up there making plays, getting dirty in the backfield.
Austin Armstrong, Billy Napier, man, they couldn't say enough about Jordan Castell and so many of those true freshmen on that side of the ball. Thomas goes in motion. Second down and 20 now. Jones on the options, going to keep it himself. Trying to get to the outside, bounces off a tackler, and then finally shoved down by Castell. He's going to have to settle for 6, but there's no doubt Jalen Jones is their best runner.
Yeah, this is what why I was so confused in the first half of why you only gave him one possession, then you kind of yanked him. And I don't know if it was more of an emotional thing. You know, he was a Gator. It was for essentially a cup of coffee, and he was on his way out of here for some off the field stuff. But he's still at the place he originally committed to. So maybe they just needed to calm him down, and he's ready to go now.
He's going to throw here, but he throws it short, and that's going to be a long way from the line to gain. Bryce Cannon brought down by Kelby Collins, who was an Under Armour All-American last year, and it's 4th down.
I mean, the tenacity in which that defensive line can get after you up front. Caleb Banks, 88's had a great game, just putting the pressure on the opposing quarterback, and man, we're trying for a long field goal. They saw Florida's kicker come out there and kick a 50-plus Trey Spack. They're going to try to one-up it right now.
Yeah, for a chance to pull within a touchdown. This is a 55-yard attempt. And it is no good. Kyle Cunanan gave it the good old college try. But Graham's still in there.
Listen, they got to start some more touchdowns before you even think about taking him out of the football game. I mean, it's way too close. And listen, also, he needs reps. I know he's worked his tail off this offseason, but he needs game reps.
Mertz pressured again, gets away from it, and throws a strike to Ricky Pearsall. Man, he has been good tonight. Onto the plus side of the field, a gain of 16 and a 1st down.
And that's a great job right there. Graham Mertz, previous possession, kind of stood back in the pocket a little bit too long right there, stepped up, and then look at the route running from Ricky, and then settles, sees his quarterback moving in the pocket, and finds the nice pocket, presents his numbers for the easy completion.
Just over 11 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Mertz to Etienne, picking his way left side, now finds the sideline, and he's got a 1st down run. Trevor Etienne, good on his feet. That's a gain of a dozen.
Well, Clay, you brought it up. It's like, Etienne had such a monster game last week. Like, where was he in the first half? 2 carries for 4 yards. I want to see more of that here in the second half. And I don't think they're saving him because he's playing punt return and kick return.
I'll give it to Trevor again. This time, not much. Maybe a 3-yard pickup for Etienne. Max Brown was warming up during that last commercial break, the backup quarterback to Graham Mertz. And just think about it. If Charlotte takes advantage of that turnover and they get any points, I mean, you're talking a 1-score game.
Yeah, and just the way Florida dominated in that first half, it just doesn't feel like it. But yeah, they're one big play away from this thing being right in it.
Here's Mertz, plenty of time, flips it across, that is caught by Douglas. Caleb Douglas, another guy who's been kind of quiet at times this year, played well at Utah in the opener. Kind of waiting for a breakout game still this season.
Well, and it goes back right there. I love that play. It goes back to formation into the boundary. You leave your receiver one-on-one to the outside, and there's a ton of room for him. And as a quarterback, you look up, and they shifted their defense all the way essentially into the boundary, and you have all that green space for your receiver just to run a quick slant. You just catch it, throw it, rip it, put it on his chest, and let him get you to a 3rd and short situation.
Montreal Johnson in the Wildcat formation. Florida has not converted on 3rd down yet tonight, and this is going to be close. Johnson again spinning. Mertz thinks he got it. It'll depend on the spot. And they will have it. A 1st down. Montreal Johnson out of that Wildcat formation.
You had 3 receivers into the boundary. See if they can flip it out real quick.
Mertz is going to go to the other side. Isolates Douglas. Tries to slip a tackle, but Burton brought him down.
And it's the same formation, once again, into the boundaries. If you have numbers into the boundary, you're going to throw the quick screen. If not, it's one-on-one up there. You just showed a slant, so the DB's playing a little bit inside leverage. You give a quick hitch route. You get a nice 7-yard gain on 1st down.
Graham Mertz still just 2 incompletions in this ball game tonight. He's over 200 yards passing. Back in the red zone. Trying to finish a drive with a touchdown. It hasn't come easy tonight for the Gators. Johnson stacked up. He's going to bring up third down. Prince Bima, leading tackler for Charlotte a year ago, makes the stop. No gain for Johnson that time.
Right, and give credit to this defensive line for Charlotte. They've done a great job on some known rundowns where they think Florida's just going to line up and try to bully them a little bit in order to pick up first downs, and they've gotten big, they've gotten physical. They haven't been able to be pushed back to the second level.
Our defensive coordinator is Ryan Osborne. He was a GA here under Dan Mullen a few years back. Mertz rolling out on third down and 3. Little stiff arm to get away from the pressure. Throws to the end zone, and it's incomplete. Intended for Sanders. Okir Anoma, who forced that fumble on the last series for Florida, was chasing Mertz all over the field.
Once again, not successful on a third down situation inside the red zone. I mean, that's 3 straight trips inside the 20-yard line that is going to result in an extra point. I don't believe the last time was in the red zone when they made the big field goal. But settling for 3 is not going to make you feel warm and fuzzy inside for this Florida Gator offense.
One of the positives from tonight so far has been that Trey Smack has solidified this place-kicking job. 3 for 3 tonight, and he is good again from 36. Saw that in the Oklahoma game today. Cincinnati moved the ball pretty well against the Sooners, just couldn't finish inside the red zone. Here's another touchback, and so Charlotte will have it at the 25-yard line. Remember last year, Florida lost to Kentucky. So now this year, we've got to go on the road to Lexington and try to avenge that loss. Kentucky's playing pretty well right now. Jalen Jones sprints out. He's going to option pitch it to the tight end again inside. We've seen that play several times with not a lot of success. Weber wrapped up for a 1-yard gain. Here's the game last year, and that was coming off of the upset of Utah. They were supposed to go in there riding some momentum, and they just kind of laid a egg.
Well, it's the turnovers. Anthony Richardson's a heck of a talent, but it still doesn't matter how good you are. If you turn the ball over, you're not going to win football games. And Graham Mertz to start the season has done a great job of not putting it into harm's way, taking care of it, understanding that he's got a good running game, he's got a good defense. I just have to be smart with the football.
Jones out of the gun, 2nd and 9. Deep handoff. Bird to the 30. There's Cam Jackson, big number 99. How good was he last week? Playing at such a high level.
He changed the whole game. He allowed Florida to play 2 high safeties versus Tennessee's defense because he dominated up front. And that's what you want to do with some of these offenses nowadays. It's hard to stop them with single high coverage. You got to play 2 high, but then you're going to be forced into what we like to call light boxes. That's when you need big guys like Cam Jackson to take over.
Only 5 first downs for Charlotte tonight. Did they get one there? A low throw. It's caught right at the sticks by Colin Weber to keep the drive alive. A 6-yard pickup.
It looked like some confusion on Florida's defense not getting set up and just an easy pitch and catch. Once again, Weber has been the go-to guy, the tight end, moving him around, trying to find some matchups.
29% of Charlotte's catches coming into the night coming from that tight end room. Jones is 6 for 6 throwing the football tonight. But overall, moving this offense has been difficult. Here's Henry Rutledge. He's got a burst of speed across the 45-yard line, and he'll get 9 yards on first down.
Yeah, as the coaching staff told us, he's a gadget player. Someone you can move around, you can give him these jet sweeps. Fastest guy on the football team. And you see what he can do when he gets a little bit ahead of steam and some space in front of him, able to get this to a 2nd and short. And this is where this offense wants to be. If you're going to run triple option, you have to be successful on 1st and 2nd down. And you're going to get a penalty for too many guys on offense, too many guys on the field.
Dwayne Thomas was running to try and get off.
On the offense, breaking the huddle with 12 players. It's a 5-yard penalty. 2 remains, 2nd down.
Why haven't we seen more of Henry Rutledge? He had that 46-yard punt return touchdown last week, and when he has touched the ball tonight, he's been explosive.
Yeah, especially with some of the guys on offense banged up, especially Mack, number 12. You know, someone we haven't talked about either is Hestera. I mean, he's their number one receiver, hasn't touched the ball tonight, so.
Jones on 2nd and 6, hit as he throws, and this is airmailed over the receiver. Uman Mielen, the edge rusher, the tall speedster for Florida, just leveled Jones.
And just got out just in time. And go back to your question about why we haven't seen some of these guys play tonight so far for this offense. I think they're still trying to figure out their identity a little bit. I think that's the hardest thing. You have two quarterbacks. I don't know if they necessarily committed to one or the other just yet. And when you're doing that, you're trying to figure out multiple schemes. And I think at some point you do have to say, this is who we're going to go with, and this is the offense we're going to run, and we can build what we want to do with the rest of the players.
The offensive coordinator, Mike Miller, was on Alabama's staff when they rotated Jalen Hurts and Tua. He said that wasn't easy. This is much harder. Pumping. Jones flushed out of the pocket, being chased from behind. Needs a few more yards, but he throws on the run instead, and he finally hits Hestera. Big play for Charlotte, but there's a flag behind the play. This might be coming back.
Yeah, I think he crossed the line of scrimmage when he let that absolute rocket go. Finally got to see number 19, Hestera, get involved, but unfortunately it looks like this one's going to come back. I think he would have been able to get it if he just would have tuck it and run for the first down.
Illegal forward pass on the offense, number 4. The passer was beyond the line of scrimmage when he threw the ball. That is a loss of down, 5-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. 4th down.
Yeah, probably about a half yard too far when he let it go. It's where the ball is when he throws it, not where the body is, but I think all ball and body were ahead of that 40-yard line marker when he let go.
So now 4th down, the punting unit will come out. Hestera, still no official catches because that one's wiped out due to the penalty. He had 109 yards receiving last week against Georgia State. Nothing tonight. So Pearsall will come on to send it away on the punt. Pearsall is back. He has been electric at times tonight. Standing at the 24-yard line. Boy, that was partially blocked. Derek Wingo got his fingers on it. Still going to roll inside the Florida 20-yard line. Somehow, that turns into a 48-yard punt for Grant Gagne, despite Wingo getting a piece of the pigskin to stop the run. And for the most part, they've done that.
Yeah, they've done a great job with that. I mean, 77 yards against this team, and what they did last week to Tennessee is a huge achievement. And the majority of the reason why this is only a 19-7 game is how effective they've been defensively against the run.
Montrell Johnson has been the leading rusher tonight for Florida. And he's going to fall out sideways at the 25-yard line, pushed out by Balfour. It's a gain of 8 for Montrell.
We just haven't seen many explosive runs. And I think that, listen, if you want to run for 150, 200-plus yards in certain games, it's hard to do that by just getting 5, 6, 7 yards. You got to get those 60, 70-yard pops, and we haven't seen that effectiveness getting to the third level from these running backs here tonight.
Average yards per play is just over 7 tonight for Florida as Johnson gets another carry. That'll move the chains. Montrell Johnson gets 3. His mom drives 7 hours from New Orleans every home game. She's here again tonight.
Whew. That is a heck of a drive. This is when you run the ball, see if you can get these safeties to start creeping up at some point, get some one-on-one coverage on the outside.
A reverse. They've got blockers. This is Andy Jean, the freshman, to the 50-yard line, and he swung out of bounds at the 46. Isaiah Hazel with the tackle. It's a gain of 25 on the gadget play.
Our guy Graham Mertz, check out number 15 if you see him in the screen. Tries to lead the cavalry down the field, and then gets BAM!
Oof.
Run over. Come on, Graham. You can't embarrass the quarterback family like that. You gotta give a little bit more oomph into it. You know the offense line's gonna make fun of him tomorrow on film.
You know, he took that in the helmet too.
I know.
He's a physical player.
Not there.
Low snap. Mertz recovers, a little behind Frazier's. He makes the catch, and then angles out of bounds just shy of the 40-yard line. Hill Green pushes him out. It's a gain of 5. You know, that's a positive play, and it could have been a disaster.
Well, and it's a smart move by Graham Mertz. Like they were going to take their shot. You know, we just talked about. You're running the ball well, had the reverse, take a shot down the field. They're going to get a post with a deep cross, which they've had a lot of success with tonight, and just didn't feel comfortable with the snap and just, hey, let me find my check down, get something positive.
Again, Florida on the Niners side of the field, trying to finish a drive with a touchdown. They haven't scored a touchdown since the opening series. Johnson, extra lunge there at the end of the play, still short of the line to gain. It's going to be 3rd and short. Bima on the stop.
I mean, that is hard to fathom that it's been since the first drive of the game where they just moved effortlessly down the field to score a touchdown. Look at this young man's career and what he's done from his time in Louisiana to, you know, obviously last year at Florida and the start of this season as well.
When he's not playing football, you can find him at the local bowling alley. That's his favorite pastime. He's even got his own bowling ball. It's his prized possession. Inside handoff, Johnson bottled up, nowhere to go. He is going to be dumped, and it's going to be 4th down. A loss of 3 as Okira Noma has been the MVP of that Charlotte defense.
Yeah, it's just known running downs, and you want Florida to be more physical at the line of scrimmage, and right there, Hayden Hansen, the tight end who's supposed to be blocking the backside defensive end, just does not get over there in time, and he just attacks him and is able to knock both the quarterback and the running back in the backfield. And looks like Billy Napier's had enough of this already. Let's just go for it on 4th down. We got to find a way to put a touchdown on the board.
They need the 36-yard line to pick up the 1st down.
Well, you get man-to-man coverage, linebacker on a running back.
Johnson comes out of the backfield, lines up as a receiver. Mertz right on the screws to Douglas. Did he make the catch? They are saying yes, and that's going to be a turnover as the ball came out, and it's recovered by Charlotte's Day Hollins.
Catch followed by a fumble, recovered by the defense.
Douglas had it, and it looked like he had enough for the 1st down, and then the ball came out.
Well, I was just about to give him some love for strong hands. Does a great job extending it, using his hands to catch, but right there, got to tuck it away, man. You can't just keep messing with it. These guys, defenders, are taught to strip the ball away. It's catch, strong hands into the body to protect it. And then Charlotte with another great play on defense. They have won the day when it comes to 3rd down and 4th down. You can say that, this defense.
2nd time they have forced a Florida turnover. Dante Balfour is the one who popped that ball loose. Carolina Tar Heels transfer. Got beat a couple times last week in that loss to Georgia State in the secondary.
Catch followed by a fumble and recovered by the defense. That play is under review.
They're going to look at it again, but you know, you and I saw it. I don't think that this is going to be overturned. That's right.
So, like, let's not spend too much time on it, hopefully, for these refs. But yeah, you just gotta be a little bit more catch to tuck, catch it, and they work those drills. I mean, you see receivers every day in practice. One of the first things they do is they catch it, they tuck it. There's some pad getting ready to knock them down. I think it's a catch. You see him start to make a move up the field. Ball gets popped out. A couple steps after the possession as well. And here's a catch, fumble, Charlotte's ball. Once again, going to be Charlotte's ball regardless anyways. 4th down situation. If there's an incompletion, it would be the 49ers ball.
Athletic touchdown grab against Utah.
Ruling on the field stands, 1st down.
Well, that's a mistake. And, you know, in a game that's still not comfortable, Desmond Washington, all 435 pounds of him, is in at nose tackle. Henry Rutledge, the speedster in the backfield with Jalen Jones. As again, Charlotte has good field position to start this drive. And keep it on the ground. Scooby Williams was nicked up a little bit earlier. Number 17 made that stop. That's going to be the last play of the 3rd quarter.
That is the end of the 3rd quarter.
Gainesville's favorite son, Tom Petty, leading the crowd. And Florida hoping they don't back down tonight. After that big emotional win over Tennessee, are we seeing signs of that maybe here tonight?
It's hard because I feel like the offense has been efficient, but you look at the 3rd downs, 1 of 7 tonight. I mean, in special situations, they're not executing at a high level.
Jones on 2nd down, cuts it up, nothing there. Taraja Mitchell, the linebacker, the former Ohio State Buckeye captain, steps up, and now it's 3rd down and fairly long for Charlotte.
I mean, you bring up like a loss of edge. I don't feel a loss of edge. I feel like this defense has been tenacious. I think the offense is executed. It's been in, 3rd down and red zone situations where they just have not been able to, really put their best foot forward to put points on the board. Putting field goals on the board, not touchdowns. It's little things like that just are holding them back. But I don't think an edge is gone from this football team.
I feel like this is a huge play for Charlotte if they're going to have a chance to come back in this game. They set up the screen, and it is going to be just short of the line to gain. Nice catch. But Bird is stopped about a yard shy by Tyreek Sapp, the edge player for Florida, but they're going to go for it on 4th down.
Oh, they got too many guys on the field, too.
Timeout, Florida. This is their first charge timeout of the half.
On their side of the field, going to go for it on 4th and 1 here early in the 4th quarter. And on a night where they've got 146 yards of offense only, 1 yard is a lot to ask for.
It's a lot to ask for. I'd rather get my quarterback in the gun and let him try to run the ball.
But as Jalen Jones under center, he's going to shift his tight ends.
Oh, they got him.
They drew Florida offside. At least it appears.
It's just undisciplined. Yeah, definitely got him over and made contact with the offensive lineman. Was unable to get back as Tyreek Sapp, number 94.
Offside on the defense with contact. Defensive tackle. 5-yard penalty. It results in the first down.
Huge break for Charlotte. 1st down. Now they're at the 48 of Florida, and you can see Sapp is getting an earful from Billy Napier. Big gift for the 49ers. Gators put it on a silver platter for him. 1st down and 10. Jones getting heated up from behind. He's in trouble. Down goes Jalen Jones at the 45-yard line. Uman Mielen. That's a loss of 7. 3rd sack tonight for this Gators defense.
Oh, if you need a play, one finds a way to always be around the football. Great job on the spin move, and then continues to get after the quarterback.
And he has made the quarterback uncomfortable throughout the night.
Oh, man, just the speed of him off the edge. And he's such a great athlete where you turn on the film, he's rushing the passer, he's athletic enough, and this defensive staff loves to be able to put him in space and cover as well. Just dynamic with great length at 6'5", 255.
Really struggled getting quarterback pressure last year. Now they get it again. Dumped off to Jake Clemens, the tight end. He's got a ton of room. That's a 1st down. Inside the 40 to the 34-yard line. R.J. Moten finally caught up with him. But that's a 19-yard pickup on 2nd and long.
Use Florida's speed against them. It's a great job, little play action, and then just as a quarterback, retreat, and find the throwing lane. Get the big boys out front. Lucas Gramlich, number 75, leading the cavalry. And these tight ends, we alluded to in the 1st half, they're going to want to be in 12 personnel. They like both their guys. Weber, who's had a great game, and then Clemens as well, being able to catch the ball.
Yeah, they love those tight ends. And now 1st and 10. Jones is going to keep it. And he'll wiggle ahead to the 31-yard line. This is a huge drive for Charlotte. Still a lot of time on the clock. And they have had a hard time moving the football as well tonight, but that was a big play, getting the ball to the tight end, and now they've got a little bit of confidence.
Well, I know you brought up of, hey, we're going to see the backups for Florida at all this game. I think at this point it's going to be, unfortunately for those guys, Florida's better find a way to hold on tight right now and start to dominate like the way they did last week versus Tennessee. It starts with this defensive line, this front 7, not letting Charlotte run on them.
A little confusion. That Florida defense matching up, and you can see that Jones found the vacancy in the secondary, but there is a flag down. That's a gain of 14. We'll see if it's coming back. Looks like it is.
Holding on the offense, number 76. That 10-yard penalty will be enforced from the spot of the foul with a replay of second down.
Former Nebraska Cornhusker Kevin Williams on the offensive line.
Man, that hurt because that was such a beautiful run there from Jalen Jones. And the more you watch number 4 take over this offense right now, the more you start to feel, we talked about a couple possessions ago, of what this offensive identity is going to be. And he's shown the ability to throw the ball a little bit more effectively than maybe Florida fans and Florida players were expecting. But his burst when he sees an opening,
it's explosive. No doubt about it. Thomas goes in motion to the slot. Direct snap there to the quarterback. And when you've got to account for a guy like that, it really strains the defense at times.
Well, and there's been enough of some of these quick hitters like screens and jet sweeps that all of a sudden, like, this defense is second guessing. Like, do we want to rush the quarterback as aggressive as we have it sometimes? Because now they've hit us with some big time plays with some misdirection. So right now they're kind of doing what they need to do offensively to keep Florida on their heels.
Big third down. Florida's defense got to him again. Kelby Collins, one of the youngsters on that Florida defense. It's a sack and a loss of 8.
Yeah, it's just a 3-man rush too, and my goodness, did Kelby Collins, but Umimani Ellen did a great job getting off the edge as well.
Look at that, 4 sacks tonight, only 3 all of last season.
Yeah, 3 heading into this game, so I mean, be able to have that efficiency. I mean, it starts with, when you're running against this quarterback in this offense, you got to get in the 3rd and long situations.
The punt from Gagne is going to bounce into the end zone, so it'll be a touchback.
To be able to have these essentially monsters on defense to coach up.
Trevor Etienne is going to carry right up the middle. And now Florida is going to try to control as much clock as they possibly can here late in this ball game. And salt this game away, get out of here with a win, even though at times it hasn't been pretty, especially offensively. You know, I thought last week the offense in the first half, they were a huge key to beating Tennessee. Tonight, though, it's been more about the defense. They'll stick back with Etienne. He's got a first down and more. A nice shifty move to get to the 40, down to the 44-yard line. Gain of 17 for Trevor Etienne.
Well, I mean, and you allude to, like, this is one of the better defenses in the country through the first part of the season. Like, this is not and should not be a surprise to any Florida fan watching this game right now. We're here in the swamp of how good this defense has come out and performed. I think it is a little bit more shocking the offense is not executed inside the red zone as effectively. But this is a well-coached defensive Gator football team.
Trevor eludes a tackle, tries to stiff arm his way out of another one, and does, but then is hit from behind at the 40-yard line. He'll take a loss of 3 yards. Demetrius Knight made that play. Trevor Etienne, not as big as his older brother Travis, who plays up the road in Jacksonville. Certainly, I think, more shifty at times.
Yeah, I don't know. His brother's pretty shifty too.
He's
an all-around running back, from his days at Clemson to now in the NFL. And you look at the rushing career for him, 4,500 yards, 78 total touchdowns. Was an absolute terror there in the ACC for the Clemson Tigers.
Graham Mertz, very efficient throwing the ball tonight. 225 yards passing. He'll hand it off to Etienne. Another good run for Trevor. He stopped just short of the midfield stripe, a gain of a half dozen. Bima on the stop. Look at this replay from the shiftiness we talked about. When he wants to change directions, he knows how to do it. He'll come out. And Montrell Johnson back in. I think Billy Napier was hoping to see more of Trayon Webb tonight, their number 3 running back. It just hasn't manifested because of how close this game is.
Yeah, because that's one area that they're a little bit concerned about. They love their first 2 guys, but don't feel like they have a lot of depth behind them.
Injuries have kind of played a role in that as Mertz is pushed out of the pocket. Now being chased, looking downfield, he's going to be dropped. Nakai Hill-Green throws him down. That's going to be a loss of 4. Another sack for the Charlotte defense. That's their third.
Just nothing open downfield. He did have someone in the middle of the field, but it's kind of hard to rip your hips around unless you're Patrick Mahomes and throw the ball 30 yards across your body, rolling to the left. And smart decision by Graham there, just eating it, not trying to force the ball down the field.
So Crawshaw will come on. Henry Rutledge, who had a punt return touchdown last week against Georgia State, is going to call for the fair catch at the 5-yard line. 51-yard punt from Crawshaw. 6.5 to go here in the swamp. They haven't been their sharpest tonight. Charlotte's still in this football game, albeit backed up right now. Jalen Jones takes the snap from the goal line, trying to get out of the end zone, and does to avoid the safety. Scooby Williams blowing that play up.
It's that speed of this defense. Man, Scooby, number 17, is just maybe one of the fastest linebackers in the SEC, then able to take on blockers too, shed him and get a hand on the quarterback to knock him down at the 1-yard line. You see this Florida faithful can create some energy there, back in the end zone, backed up.
Scooby's the mystery machine.
He is the mystery machine.
2nd and 14. Just looking for breathing room, lunging ahead close to the 5-yard line. You know, you think about it, just one touchdown tonight for Florida, Aaron. Only 3 points for the Gators here in the second half. They've turned it over twice, but Charlotte has no points off those turnovers. Yep. Because of the Florida defense tonight, it's still a comfortable separation late in the football game. They would like it to be more comfortable.
Well, and Florida's been banged up. Like, listen, three of your offensive linemen didn't play the first half. Your starting center was out the whole game. Two of your playmakers at the receiving position are out. So you get a full start there from the right tackle.
Yep.
So,
false start on the offense, number 79. After this, you see a goal.
They're not 100% on offense right now. We talked about Eugene Wilson not playing in this game, and he is such a dynamic playmaker that with his athleticism would have made a huge difference in this game.
They missed him tonight, for sure.
Missed him.
They also didn't have Marcus Burke, another receiver. Dante Zanders, playmaker at tight end, was suspended for the first half. On top of those linemen Aaron alluded to. From the end zone, Jones deep downfield, and he overshot his man Thomas by about 4 yards. Jason Marshall is in the coverage, and there is a marker down behind the play. Charlotte needs a break. They need this to be against Florida.
Oh, if it's a penalty inside the end zone, it would be a safety on Charlotte.
There are 2 fouls on the play, one by each team. Ineligible player downfield. On the offense, number 18, he was covered up and went downfield on a forward pass. Personal foul, face mask. On the defense, number 88. Those penalties will offset. We will replay 3rd down.
So Charlotte will have another 3rd down and long with 4:47 to go from their own 2-yard line. This defense has been making big plays, especially the last few weeks. Crowd getting behind him here. Really last chance for Charlotte. Jones, little pressure, got rid of it, flicks it to the sideline. It is caught by Hystera, who has been very quiet tonight. He's going to get 8 yards, but short of the line to gain. They'll move it to the 10-yard line. That's his first catch, and he's one of their best receivers.
He is their best receiver. I mean, and once again, it goes back to just who your identity is as an offense, and it was about running the football with your quarterback tonight, getting your tight ends involved on screens, some of your running backs involved on screens, and really not a lot of love has been able to be spread out to the receivers for Charlotte.
He came into the game with 8 catches of 15 yards or more. Not just a Good receiver, but an explosive receiver. And a no-show tonight for the most part. Ricky Pearsall back to return this punt. Good field position here for the Gators. Into Charlotte territory. Pearsall to the 40-yard line of the 49ers. With just over 4 minutes to go.
And I know that people may be worried about next week's game at Kentucky. Kentucky undefeated, but I don't know, man. I've not been super impressed with the Wildcats this year. So I think Florian go in there and take care of business, honestly.
Mertz still in the game here in the fourth quarter. I think a lot of fans didn't expect that to happen. He hits Odom. Actually, Boardingham, the tight end who had the only touchdown tonight for the Gators. That's a 25-yard pickup for Arliss Boardingham.
Yeah, it's not as scary of a schedule as maybe we would have thought to start the season. Like Kentucky is, undefeated once again, but man, it not looked great. Devin Leary's kind of struggled to start the season. Had 2 interceptions today versus Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's kind of gone downhill a little bit. Georgia's not been as dominant. South Carolina, same things. Like, there's no reason why Florida can't have a lot of success this year.
Johnson kind of stumbled there on first down. I guess there's a potential for them to be 6-1 going into that rivalry game with Georgia and Jacksonville.
And I know
timeout, Charlotte.
Charlotte's going to call a timeout.
Of the half.
So 2nd down and 9, 3:21 to go. Play action. Mertz has a man wide open. It's Pearsall. Pearsall. Did he get to the sticks? Demetrius Knight knocking him down. Nice catch and run for Pearsall. He was left all alone. That's going to be a gain of 9, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and short. They're going to take their time. Boy, this would be somewhat validating just to get into the end zone one more time. They've been 1 of 8 tonight on 3rd down. Lunging ahead, Mertz getting a push from behind. It's going to be close. I don't think this is guaranteed for Graham Mertz. You can speak to this as a quarterback. Half a yard is sometimes the hardest thing to pick up in football.
Yeah, but with the new rules where you can push the quarterback from behind, you would think it'd be pretty automatic, especially with this offensive line going against Charlotte.
Now a player down for the 49ers.
Timeout, Charlotte. This is their 2nd charge timeout of the half. This will be a 30-second timeout. Please reset the game clock to 2:30.
They are back in the early 80s. 4th down and 1 for the Gators. Mertz sneaks up under center, trying to draw Charlotte offside. And now timeout called. Florida wants to take another timeout.
Timeout, Florida. This is their 2nd charge timeout of the half. It'll be a 30-second
so now both teams
timeout.
with one timeout left. Hit a 54-yarder earlier. This is from 23. Spot, the kick, and it's good. 5 field goals tonight for Florida, just 1 touchdown. 3 more from Trey Smack, who has been an inspiration tonight. A nice lift in the special teams unit as he has solidified the place-kicking chores, and he's done a great job tonight kicking it through the end zone. But a lot of transfers, and they're still trying to figure out how to play together.
Yeah, and they're trying to figure out how to play 4 quarters of football. I think that's something the coaches have kept reiterating to us, is we need to be able to play 4 quarters, not just 1 or 2 quarters well here and there.
Bobbled, hung on to Bryce Kennan the catch. Bryce Kennan, tight end, picks up 10. Clock moving here late in the 4th quarter. They were in Conference USA for 8 years. They think they can compete right away. Like the way their defense has played tonight for sure. Jones stumbled. I think he might have had enough room there to get the first down before he tripped. Gets 7. Still playing hard, trying to get some points on the board here before their Dayton-Gainesville is up. From the 42-yard line. 2nd and 3. Jones, all kinds of time, throws it over the middle, and it's caught by Dwayne Thomas. And Miguel Mitchell brings him down as they get a big play of 24 yards. So few of those tonight for the 49ers.
Well, I think there's been a couple moments where Jalen's kind of gone back to throwing the football. We're like, wow, I haven't seen that really much on film of him being able to push the ball vertically down the field.
He's only had one incompletion tonight. He's 11 of 12. Now trying to throw again. Panic mode, and he throws it down the sideline, incomplete. He's out of bounds. He's intending it for Randy Fields. Uman Mielen again with pressure. It was actually Jaden Bradley, number 3, down the sideline. Uman Mielen has been outstanding tonight, getting in the backfield.
Oh, he's unbelievable. Just love his game, his athletic, and just he's the guy that you want walking out of the bus first when you pull up. At 6'5", 255, he is scary looking. Maybe Desmond Watson first off the bus. 425 off the bus.
I was going to say.
Kind of makes you kind of, whoa, double take that one.
He makes Cam Jackson look small, and he's not. Jackson, incomplete. Intended for Jack Estera. Jones hasn't thrown many incompletions. There's one of them. 111 yards passing. Just his 3rd incompletion. Austin Armstrong, just 30 years old, the defensive coordinator for Florida. Tell you what, he's a bright young mind.
Oh my goodness. I had him last year when he was at Louisiana and got to sit down with him before they played at Coastal Carolina, and just, you knew he was going to be not there for long and moving his way up the rankings.
He calls a blitz, and Jones got rid of it. And there's Uman Mielen again. Man, number 1 has so much speed.
There is no foul for intentional grounding. Number 18 was in the area.
That will not be intentional grounding, but you can see Jones was just trying to get rid of it for his life.
I mean, when you're that size and can move and have that burst off the line of scrimmage, I don't care who you're going to face, you're going to be an absolute terror. I mean, we a lot of focus on Cam Jackson after what he did last week for Tennessee, but man, number 1 continues to flash.
Almost had the 5th sack of the night for the Florida defense. They have pressured Jones. They have pressured Trexler Ivy when he's been in there. Under a minute to go. Jones heaves it up toward the corner, looking for Hestera, and again it's out of bounds. So Florida will take over on downs, and that will do it. Be over 70% with his completion rate again tonight. That's all 4 games this season. So that ties the longest streak by a Florida quarterback over the last 20 years.
Wow.
We talked about him being dialed in all week, and we saw it again tonight.
He's got a lot of football under his belt, and you're seeing that maturity really start the season off.
It's going to be a 15-point win for number 25, Florida, as Billy Napier will run across the field to shake hands with Biff Poggi. The balance of the SEC schedule lies ahead for Florida.